Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this new guide for a beginner's journey. If you're a casual player and you're looking to play a game called Rust by Face Punch, hopefully this guide is going to be for you. Now, this is going to be a long video. I was going to break this down into different sections, and we can still do that, but initially, I want to talk to you about what Rust is. It's a survival game, but it is brutal, and a lot of people quit at the start. They don't understand the concept of the game. And that's pretty because there is no concept to this game except for surviving. It's a sandbox. You can create whatever you want to create, and it's more about the journey than the destination. There's no completion here. You can get to end game status by having all of the top tier weapons and armor, and you can run around raiding people, but it's really about the experience along the way, the narrative, the story, the journey, and that's always going to be different depending on who you're playing with and how you're playing. So to get you started as a new player, to get you into Rust in a kind of a gentle way, I'm going to talk you through a guide. So what we're going to do first and foremost is click on play game. We're going to see we have a choice of servers. Now basically, just to quickly go over this, official servers, community servers, and modded servers. You can see more players in the modded servers. Modded can be in anything. It can be gun game, it can be build only, no PvP, only PvP, 2 times gathering speed. There's lots and lots of different things that people can do to mod servers. Community servers are servers run by community projects, community members, private entities. You can have free servers, or there are VIP options where you can pay to get preferential treatment in servers, and then you've got the official Face Punch recommended and their own servers themselves. Now we're going to play on a Face Punch server, so we're just going to type in Face Punch here to the search box. If I scroll down, you'll see some use cases here: wipe schedule, difficulty, and mode. Well, we want vanilla mode. This is the standard version. Mode we're not worried about at the moment, but there are lots of different options, and we're going to go for the Europe region. Now in terms of wipe, I just quickly want to talk about this. There are 2 types of wipes that happen to the maps. The first is when all of the assets are wiped. So your bases, your assets, everything you've worked towards, it's removed. And that's either on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis. So you might ask yourself the question, well, what's the point of playing the game if I'm going to lose everything? Well, you're going to lose everything regardless. If you get killed, raided, or if it gets wiped, it's all going to go. And so if an entity rules the server and gets too big, well, there's no real purpose to the game anymore. So this kind of keeps people on their toes, and it's really about that initial grind, and a lot of the excitement in this game is in that initial grind. And so that brings us into a cycle called Wipe Day. So a cycle, as you can see here, some of these servers are 24 days old. That means that people have been playing on that server for 24 days. They've got all the end game gear, big bases, they've had all of their fun, they've done all of their adventures. And if you go into that server, you're probably going to still find some players. For example, in some of these, we can see here, this one, for example, has 22 players online. Now, that's either going to be a couple of guilds or some random people, but most people are going to get bored, have left, or just not bothered. You're going to find abandoned bases and people running around with AKs and full armor. Now, that's not necessarily going to be fun for a new player, but also it's going to give you an opportunity to experience the game without a lot of resistance and a lot of pressure. So that could be a good way to start. Alternatively, how most people enjoy playing this game and the most fun and excitement is on wipe day. So when the wipe happens to the server, everybody logs in as quickly as they can to be able to get back to that stage of having that late gear stuff. Now, within an hour, when a server launches, people are running around with guns. And quite good guns as well. Within the first day, people are running around with rockets and C4, blowing each other up. And so you have to understand that depending on the server and the cycle that the server is in, depends on how you play it. If you go and build a base with a wood door on a server that's 24 days old, then people can come and raid your base in minutes. But on day 1, when a server has just wiped, if you've got a wood door, you should be okay for an hour or so. If you've got a metal door on day 1, then you should be okay for a few days. But after a few days, you're going to start getting raided. And so it's really understanding how do you survive in this game? Because that's what this game is all about, survival. And that's the first type of a wipe. The second type of a wipe is blueprints. Blueprints are ways for you to research items that you can craft within the game. And blueprints are kind of everything. It's how you get to the end game items, and it's how you can get that next thing that you need. You have to research it. There's multiple ways to do that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But every server is independent. So if I go into Face Punch 1 and I learn all the blueprints, and then I go into Face Punch 2, I will know no blueprints. I will have to start again. And so the blueprints are meant to wipe every month, but they don't, not always. So they're meant to, but they don't always. It's hit and miss. But going into a brand new server with new blueprints on a new wipe is the best way to play this game. And it's also the hardest. So what I'm going to do in this series is I'm going to talk you through an easier version to get you started before you go into that cycle. So right here, we're going to pick a server I've never been on before. I have no blueprints. I've never played on it. We're going to go into Face Punch 9. It only has 22 people online. So we shouldn't run into too many people. We might run into 1 or 2 people, but we shouldn't. And the idea here is for us to be able to get started, for us to be able to build a base, learn the mechanics, understand the game, and survive with a threat of the PvP element, but not such an intense threat as a new server. Alright, so with that being said, we're going to jump into the game, and I'm going to talk you through everything you need to know. Now, as I said, this is a survival game. When you spawn on a new server, you will always spawn on a beach with a rock and a torch, and that's it. And so you're going to be half health, you're going to be hungry, you're going to be thirsty, and it's really about getting through that first night. Now, when you spawn into a server, it will be in a cycle. It might be the middle of the day, it might be the middle of the night. It could be a sunny day, it could be a thunderstorm, it could be foggy. You don't know what's going to happen. And so you have to be able to adapt to every situation. But the first thing that you're going to do is the same regardless. You're going to need resources. Now, the core resources that you're going to need are wood. You're also going to need stone. And you're going to need cloth. Those are the 3 core assets that you're going to need at the start. And there are multiple ways that you can acquire those. 1, you can go and hit a tree to get the wood. Or you can run around and forage the wood off the ground. Same with the stone. You can hit a stone node, or you can run around and pick the stone up off the ground. And the same with the cloth. You can find hemp plants. You can run around and collect those. Now, you might be very lucky and you might find them all straight away, or you might struggle. Another thing that you can do is you can run down roads. Now, on the roads, crates will spawn. And those crates and those barrels, you can break the barrels, you can open the crates, and they'll have items inside them. Some of them are going to be great items, some of them are going to be trash. But your trash items you can take to a recycler, and you can recycle them back into basic components. So if you were to find in a barrel a sewing thread or a tarpaulin, you can take that to a recycler and break that down, and you might end up with a couple of hundred cloth. So it's a much quicker way for you to be able to gain those resources. However, there is a cost. The cost is that the recyclers are in the monuments, and monuments are heavily contested areas, especially on wipe day. Now, at this stage in the game, when we're going into a server where there possibly aren't that many people, we might not run into that many players. So the monuments might not be contested. And this is good because it gives you an opportunity to learn the monuments. Now, there are safe servers. You can actually go into servers where there is no PvP. And that way you can experience just the PvE aspect of the game. And that in itself can be fun for a while. But it will get boring. And so I like the idea of learning the game with the real threat of players. It does make the game a little bit more exciting. And the problem with the PvE is it does get boring quite quickly. So we're going to load into the game now. The game's just about loaded. And we're going to test out this server, and we're going to do the things that we just mentioned. We're going to see if we can pick up the core resources and build a base. Because that's the first thing we need to do. Now, when you spawn, you're going to spawn in a random location. Unless you get a sleeping bag down, you're going to respawn if you die in another random location. So here we go. We've just launched into the game and we're asleep. We press any key and we're on a beach. I'm just going to take a moment and just appreciate this map, by the way. It's a beautiful, beautiful map. It's built in Unity. There's another player over there. You do have proximity voice chat. So I can walk over to this player and I can say, "Hi, how you doing?" And they might talk, they might not. But with that being said, we're going to walk around. So there's a base here. There's a player there. And yeah. The first thing you're going to do when you spawn, the very first thing you're going to do, like that person figuring yourself out, is you're going to press G. G is going to open up a map. That is going to allow you to look around. I can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel, and I can see the different monuments. So I've spawned in an area here. There's a junkyard, a lighthouse, and a ferry terminal. This is a really good place. There's lots of other places, and we'll talk about those later. But for now, we need to survive. So we'll come back to this map, and we'll talk about it in more detail. But there's different biomes. There's the wooded area, there's the desert, and there's the Arctic. 3 different biomes that are available. So in the Arctic, you're going to struggle with cloth and trees. You're going to overheat in the desert, and you're going to have a lot of sulfur, but not a lot of trees. And in the woods, you're going to have lots of trees, but not a lot of rocks or things like that. So you kind of need to be in a mixture in the early game of between these 2 biomes. Up here, we're kind of out the way. But we do want these rocky areas. These rocky areas are really good. This ferry terminal is actually fantastic. I have a feeling we're going to struggle over here, but we want to find an area to put a base. Now, you want to be near enough to be near a monument, and there's different tiered monuments. There's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Better loot on the bigger monuments. So we need to get a sleeping bag down, but we need to decide where we're going to put our sleeping bag and where we're going to head towards. So I really like the idea of this ferry terminal as a starting point. We have 2 oil rigs very near us. Now that does mean that people can fly over in their helicopters and might see our base. So we might end up in trouble because we're going to be line of sight. That means we could get raided. One of the things you might want to do in this game is avoid being seen. And so for that to happen, we need to make sure we stay out the way. Now, I did mention at the start there are things that we want to do. One of those is collect resources. This is wood. We can pick this up off the ground, and that is what it looks like. We also have a rock. We can pick the rock up by pressing 1. We can put it away by pressing 1. This is the second resource. It's a hemp fibre. We're very, very lucky to have found this. We can pick that up. We now have 10 cloth. Alright, we can continue walking around. Again, picking up our rock. We also have a torch. We can light the torch by pressing right click. We can swipe it by pressing left click. We can turn it off and put it away. The rock is all we have to gather resources at the start. Unless we're going to run around and just pick them up off the floor, we need to go and hit a tree. Now, there's 2 types of tree. There's the tree on the floor here, or there's this tree here. If I hit this tree, an X will appear. Now, I get 5 wood for hitting a tree with a rock, but if I hit it on the X, I get more. And it progressively gets bigger and better. Now I missed, so I'm back to the start. But every time I hit this, it's like a multiplier. And so this gives me more and more every time. Okay, so now I'm getting 10 wood every time, as opposed to 5. And as you can see, it's adding up, and I'm getting my total there. So I've got 178 wood in total from this tree. And you can see in total I have 268 wood. It's telling me in the bottom right hand corner there. That also shows us where our health, our water, and our food is. Now that tree just fell down. It made a big noise. Hitting it, it falling. Visually I could see it. This is a survival game. Everything and everyone is out to kill you. Or you need to assume it at least. Therefore, players aren't always going to be friendly. Some might. But some are simply going to run up to you and kill you. If you spawn on the beach like this, don't be surprised if someone runs up to you with a rock and just hits you in the head. That is Rust. That is exactly what Rust is about. It is a brutal game. Okay, so this is a node on the floor. This is sulfur. You can tell by the yellow on it. We're going to pick that up. That's used to make gunpowder later. But we're not quite there yet. We're kind of running over towards the junkyard at the moment. But we're also going to run over into this corner. This is the second type of wood that we can do. Now this gives us 10 as opposed to 5. So we get double the wood. And also, it does not fall down. It just disappears. So while it still makes a noise every time you hit it, it's less of a visual representation and less of a crashing, which can be heard from a long way away. To hitting a tree, the noise isn't as bad as when the tree falls. When the tree falls, it makes a lot of noise. Alright, so this is stone. So you can see these nodes. Now, we can't pick up these little bits of stone. That's just decoration. But these ones here, that's metal ore. We can pick that up. Also, there's some more wood here. So this is really good. This is an abundant little island we're on. We've found hemp so far. We've found wood. Loads of wood. So now we have enough to come into our menu. Okay, so if we're in our menu, I'm just going to run down here. Okay, so we come back to the beach. And now if I press tab, we can come into our menu. So now we can see our character. Our character is predefined. It can be man, woman, it can be white, black, or anything. You can't choose. It's just attached to your ID, and that is it. It's immutable. The developers did that because your character is more of a vessel, and they didn't want you to get too attached to it because you're going to die a lot. And also, it gives you the opportunity to play the game from a different perspective. Maybe you wouldn't normally play a woman, and now you do. You can also be fully naked, so you might not get any further than this screen. But that being said, for the purpose of this, I've put underwear on. And you can do that within the settings. Alright, so you can go to contacts and see all of the people. Now, I've seen somebody, 2017. I can choose whether they're friendly or not, or an enemy, or I can just forget them. So you can keep a track of people. I can go back to my inventory. I can see the items, my inventory here, my quick bar, a quick crafting menu, and anything I'm wearing. I can come to crafting, and this shows me all of the items available to craft. I can search for anything, and it tells me what I need. And if I typed in something like rocket here, and I looked at the rocket, this requires a workbench level 3, so I'm not ready to craft these endgame items yet. However, I have favorited some of the things that you're going to need. Initially, a sleeping bag to allow you to respawn. This takes 30 cloth. You're also going to want to, at some point, get some basic tools. A stone hatchet, which needs wood and stone. A stone pickaxe. You're going to want to get some armor to protect yourself. Bone armor being the cheapest and the easiest to start with. And then you're going to want to get a bow and arrow to hunt at range. But most importantly, you're definitely going to want the sleeping bag. And so we want to find that cloth. So we've got a bit of wood that we found. We now need to find ourselves some stone. So stone can be quite difficult to find. We're going to head around the side of the junkyard. And again, there's multiple ways that you can find these resources. You can just forage like I am right now. Or we can go up onto main roads. And there's no roads on this little island with a ferry terminal. But you can find around monuments or roads, barrels and crates. And you can use those as well. So we're going to head over to the ferry terminal. Now I fully expect there's going to be a base over here. This is, it looks like a lovely area to set up. And yep, you can see there's some walls over there. There's a lot of stuff now. Remember, this server is 27 days old. Everything's pretty much going to already have been done. So we're going to craft a wooden spear at the moment with the wood that we currently have. And that's going to help to defend us. There's a boar there. That will attack us if we get too close. We're not really in a position to fight at the moment, so we're going to ignore that. This is a monument. This is a junkyard. Now, we could go in there, but it's possible there's going to be people there. We just don't know. We don't know anything about this map at the moment. And so, for now, we're just going to look around. Now, we're going to die a lot, and it could happen with another player. It could happen by a boar or a wolf. We could simply just fall off a cliff. Or poison ourselves. Like, there's lots and lots of ways we can die. If we don't eat soon, we're going to die of starvation. So we really need to look at protecting ourselves in the best way possible. setting up a base, getting some food. Those are the priorities. So right now I've got a spear. That's slightly better than anything else that I've had. So I can use this to hit these barrels. The first barrel is this beige barrel. This is going to always give us 2 scrap and a random item. In this case, some rope. So that rope I can use to craft, or I can also use it to break it down in the recycler, as I mentioned earlier. So we can come around and look in here and hope that there's no one here. We might be okay, but again, these are often contested by other players. Now here is a crate. We can open this up, and inside is a few items, some scrap and some other items as well. And this is where we can get a head start. So you're going to get a much quicker head start looting these crates than you will foraging. However, it's going to be more contested by other players, especially on a new server or a highly populated server. Next crates are the blue ones. This is still going to give us 2 scrap and also another item. The items do vary. It could be some metal blades, some tarpaulin, it could be some sewing kits. It might be something nice. It really depends. In this case, we're going to get some more rope and some more scrap. Now, scrap is the currency of the game. You need it for everything. You need it to upgrade. You need it to barter. You need it to research. It's going to be used for a lot of different stuff. A lot of the components that we're picking up from these barrels are going to be used as well, but not really in the early stage of the game, so we don't need them to start with. Therefore, we can pretty much just remove them, break them down into their core components, and use them to get started. Alright, so we're going to head up here. As you can see, there's a little bit of parkour we need to do here. Alright. And so you'll get the idea of these monuments. You can learn them quite easily. But this is going to take us to the recycler. The recycler is where we can open this up and we can put in these items. So we have 10 cloth right now. But if we go ahead and put in this rope and we turn the recycler on, it's going to take the rope and it's going to give us some cloth. We just got another 45 cloth. We can do the same with the tarpaulin. We can put the tarp in there. We can break the tarp down. And this is going to output for us some cloth. We now have 100 cloth. We can do the same with these signs, these road signs. We can put them in here. And the road signs, which we can use later to make armor, are going to give us some scrap and some high quality metal. These gears, they're used to make doors later and other things, but we can now we don't need them. They're a late game item, so we can recycle them. And these gears are going to give us some more scrap and some metal fragments. We have this, which is a hot air balloon armor. We can break this down. This is going to give us 100 metal frags. And my favorite is the battery. Or the electric fuse, sorry. The electric fuse is going to give us 20 scrap. I love that one. Alright, some things you can't put in there. They don't work. So that's everything that we can do at the moment. But we've broken that down, and that's given us a great head start. We can now craft ourselves a sleeping bag, and we can also craft ourselves a hunting bow. We can't yet craft ourselves any arrows because we don't have the stone that we need. So we have to go and find some stone. Right now, there's another crate. We're going to open that. Some more items. We've got a jacket. We can put that on now. We're slightly protected. A little bit better than if we were just naked. And so now there's another crate up there. You're starting to see the benefit of these monuments. Now this loot will respawn, and the respawn timer really depends on how busy the server is. If the server is really busy, everything will respawn quicker. If the server is not very busy, then the respawn timers will be slightly longer. Anything from 3 minutes up to about 30 minutes. There's actually another one up there as well, so we're going to go and grab that. And then we're pretty much done for this monument. And this is a very, very good start to the game to show you how you can get a head start. Some people will rush to monuments. We've even got ourselves a gun. Now, you might not be as lucky to get a gun as me, but this is definitely going to help to protect us in those early fights. However, if we fire this gun, everyone's going to know we've got a gun. And in Rust, noise attracts people. So if people hear a noise, they're going to come to it. So what we can do right now, because we've got a gun, we can head down here. And I just saw an animal. Oh, we're bleeding. Didn't want to do that. We're going to make some bandages quickly. We'll make 6 of them so we can heal ourselves. And we really want to put this... There's a player there, look. There's a player. They're going to be coming in here. Now, we don't really want them to come in here. This is our area. And we see them over there. We know where they are. There we go. Lots of stuff on them. We're going to pick all of that up. Can appreciate they're not very happy with that. Oh, we have no rounds left, but we are now full up. We have a full inventory. Oh, there's another player there. They've got some wood on them. It looks like they got killed by the boar. So it looks like at the moment, I kind of want to get to that boar. I'm hoping he stops running. We do have a spear, but he's hurt and he's nearly dead. So yeah, we've used all of our rounds up. We're going to chase this boar for a moment. We're also going to put a sleeping bag down. So we want to put our sleeping bag down anywhere we can. You can't put them on top of monuments. Right, there's the boar. Let's go and kill the boar first. There we go, the boar's dead. Alright, let's also put down our sleeping bag. So we're going to run over here. There we go. We'll put our sleeping bag down on the beach. Now, normally you'll put it in a bush so people can't see it. But I didn't want to do that at the moment. So, alright, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves now. I'm going to make a machete. I can craft a machete because I've got the metal fragments. So I'm going to use that because that's going to allow me to... I could obviously use the rock if I wanted to bash this. And I'm actually full at the moment, which is why everything's dropping out. So I need to look at what I need to do. So at the moment, I'm going to heal myself with these bandages. I'm going to put this full set on now, so I've got this kit on. I'll pick up that snow jacket, so I've got that. I'm going to heal myself. I can keep doing that. There we go. Unfortunately, we've got too much stuff. It's a good problem to have. But yeah, I'm going to get rid of these binoculars. I don't need those for now. I'm going to pick up the machete. I kind of want the pork. The pork's important to me, so I'll get rid of those seeds. Take that. Oh. Get rid of those seeds. I'll get rid of those binoculars as well. I don't need a torch for now. I'm going to regret that later, I reckon. Alright. So now I've got my hatchet, my machete. I'm going to chop this up. Get these bone fragments. Perfect. And now I can make myself a campfire. Alright, we're back down on the beach here. There are a couple of bases there, but hopefully they're not in our way. We've got a table. We don't really need a table at the moment. High quality metal's nice, but we just don't need it right this second. So we're actually going to drop it for now in favour of the campfire. Now again, at any point we could die. And so we have to be prepared. We don't have that much health. And as you saw, how quickly people can die. I did feel sorry for that young man that we killed. But that's Rust, unfortunately, as sad as that is. I'm sure they're going to be upset. And so are we when someone kills us. But again, that is Rust. Alright, so we're going to look to put this campfire down. We're going to put it down next to our bed. We'll put the food on it. And we're going to turn it on. That's going to cook. Right, so now we've got some food. We're now going to continue to heal ourselves with bandages. Alright, we can now pick up this high quality metal again. We've got some space now because we put the fire down. And also we're out of bandages, so all good. Now we're starving hungry. We've got 35 hunger left, so we're going to open this up. We can see it cooking. The green bar shows us it's cooking. Once it's cooked, we can eat it. And that's going to give us some health. And it's also going to allow us to heal a little bit. We're going to eat some more. Now you don't want to eat it raw, you can, but it will make you sick. You'll get food poisoning, stamina, and your thirst will disappear very quickly. So we don't want to eat. This will give us 5 poison. Right, we don't want to be in this menu for too long either. This could cause us problems. And as we can see, there are people on this server, so there are other players. Now, some will be friendly, but trust me, the reason that kid had all of that stuff was probably because he killed someone. Alright, we can turn that off now. Take the wood back, because we're going to want that. We can eat the rest of that food. We've got 1 space left still. Okay. Now we can keep healing ourselves. We're at 75% health. We're going to keep going. Now, at the moment, we're not really very good in a fight. We don't have... Oh, there we go. And that's how easy we can die. And it's just like that. We're dead. So that person with an AK, as I said, an assault rifle, they are... it's an end game. They're fully loaded. And that person, unfortunately, we can't load into our bag at the moment. We can hear what's happening around us. We've got 50 seconds to wait. So that person running through there with an AK, obviously not happy that I was there and has just taken everything they want and left my body. So the good news is I got a bag down. That's the main thing. So I can use that bag to respawn, go to my body and pick up some of my loot. Someone with an AK, fully geared, this is like an end game item. Someone with an AK and a fully geared item, they're not gonna be bothered by a lot of the crap that I had. They'll take the scrap, they'll take the other bits that are valuable to them, and that stuff doesn't really mean anything to me at the moment. I just need the basics. So I should, because I got my sleeping bag down, be able to go back there. The question is, if he sees me, he might kill me again and take my sleeping bag. He's obviously not a friendly person, and so we need to bear that in mind. So let's spawn in our bag. And it looks like he took everything and destroyed. Huh. Now, was he running through or does he live it? That's the question. Maybe I was up here just a little bit more. Yep, there's my body. Alright, so I have my bandage. And yeah, look, he's left most of the gear. It was worthless to him. So he took the hazmat suit. But he left everything else, which is fine. I can take that. He didn't even want the revolver. It was just worth nothing for him. Alright, now I don't know where he's gone. Or what he's doing. He probably saw me in a hazmat suit and just thought I was fully loaded. Because a lot of people do run around in hazmat suits. But no. That was... if I was naked, he might not have attacked me. Now, his base might be here, and I might die again. But let's move on to the next location. Now, he might already be here. We definitely know there's someone around here. As I said, there's lots of bases, as we can see, that have been built. And there's not that many players, so to run into one... we just actually run into 3 players. One that died to a boar, one that we killed, and one that killed us. So, seems to be a lot of people in this area. Which is interesting for a server that only has 22 people on it. Alright, so we're heading over this way. There is a big base up here. We can see that. There's also a boar there. We need food again. We're hungry again now because we died. We don't have our... we don't have our food. We need to start all over again. And also, we've still got our wood, which is nice. But we want to be... And we got our cloth. No, he took most of the cloth, so... Now, we can try and kill this. We should be able to. But it is going to do us some damage, so... We did kill it, but it cost some damage. Often when you die in Rust, you won't even see it coming. Like exactly what happened to me. You'll just be shot. Now, this base could be operational. There could be someone in here. Or it could have been abandoned. Or it could have been raided. many different situations, and we're not really going to know until we get up close. They might also have auto turrets, and so if we get too close, we might end up getting shot. But this gives us two opportunities. One, if this base has been raided, and it does look open, all the doors are open, it looks like it's been raided or abandoned. Normally when you see like buildings around here like this, that's a sure sign with the foundation and stuff like that. It could have been raided. It could just be a air base. I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. But regardless, we're going to ignore it. We don't need to worry about it. Alright, we need to get some basic tools. That's one of the things we're struggling with at the moment. And we need for that a rock. So this stone, this is white. White is stone. And this is what we want. So like the tree, we can hit it. And if we hit it, we'll get 8. We should only get 5 actually. We should get 8 if we hit this bit. So there we go. We're going to hit this. We're going to try and hit that little glint there. That tells us that it's a node. It can be broken down. Alright, and we're going to stop there. And we're going to craft ourselves a stone pickaxe. We're also going to craft ourselves a stone hatchet. And now we're also able to craft ourselves some wooden arrows. We'll go ahead and make a few of those. So now we've got our bow and arrow. We've got our machete. We don't actually need that anymore. The gun's got no ammo in it, so that's fine. And the rest of the stuff can just stay there. We've got quite a few things. There's our pick. So we can use this. And now we've got some more arrows that we can make. So we'll just make another 5 of those. And now we're out of wood. So we're going to need some more wood. But this is everything that we need at the moment. So there's some more stone here, which is great. We'll just take this. Right, now obviously we don't want to run around with all these resources. If we run around with all these resources, eventually we're going to get killed. Nice. See, with a bow and arrow, much easier. And we can also collect the arrows back as well. So much safer to be able to kill things at distance. It did still hurt us. We are almost dead. Okay. We need a campfire really. We don't have one on us at the moment. We do need to cook some food up. We do have a little bit, so we can make some bandages. Not much though. We're almost dead. We've got 9 health. So we really need a tree. So we're going to go and get this tree. We have this stone hatchet now. So this is really good. It's going to allow us to get some more wood. 9 health. If something looks at us, we're going to die. Right, so that tree is now, it made that funny noise, which means it's about to fall over. Now, there's 2 trees here. I'm not going to knock that first tree over, because if I do it, it makes a really loud noise. And it's starting to rain. Right, let's just bandage myself up a little bit. Also, let's make another campfire while we're here. We need to get that food, because we're about to starve. Obviously, the more we do this as well, the more we're going to starve. Right, so that tree's fallen. Then that tree falls, and then we're off. See, if we did that first and then moved to the second tree, people are going to know we're in that area. And we don't necessarily want people to know that. Alright, so now we're going to go down here. Yeah, we've got a bit of wood. We kind of need a little bit more wood, to be fair. I don't really want to go down there just yet. And also, if I fall down there, I'm dead. We'll stay up here for now. We'll stay right here. We'll put that campfire down. We'll put that meat on it. We'll turn that on. Alright. We'll watch the sunset. That is an attack helicopter. Or maybe it's not. Now it's getting dark, so we don't actually want this. It's going to cause a lot of problems. We might turn this off. We'll eat this food. But the last thing we want right now is a fire going that's going to tell everyone where we are. That could cause some real problems. But if we die, we die. So it's a beautiful night. We've got a campfire going. We're looking out over the ocean. This is a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game and you get to really enjoy it. If we look on a map, we can see where we're pointing over towards a large oil rig, which we can see in the distance. That's those lights. We'll keep eating the food as it comes out. And that's going to keep healing us. And also, we'll use some bandages as well. Hopefully no one comes up behind us and kills us. Now, there's not many people on this server. Again, there's only 22 people in total. I'm hoping no one's going to be here. Alright, we've healed up. We'll eat some more food. Now we're no longer hungry either. So we'll put our jacket back on. We don't need 2 rocks. We've got 1. That's fine. And we've got some tools. Now, I don't know where that's come from. But that's enough for me to want to get out of here. Now, it's very, very dark. And at night time, it is very, very dark. It's hard to see anything at all. And so what we don't want to do is fall off the cliff because we're right on the edge of the cliff. We don't want to do that. Now that down there is the ferry terminal, which is kind of where we want to go. But there might be people down there. We simply just don't know. So we don't want to get into trouble. We definitely don't want to get into a fight. Not with all of this gear. We don't want to lose it. But we don't have a base yet. So that's the next thing we need to do is build a base. Now in order to do that we need some wood. So we're going to need quite a bit of wood. Now looking at where the trees are at the moment. This probably looks like the best area to pick up trees. Which is where we just was. The only problem with this is I don't think there's any trees left. I think we've got them all. So we need to find more trees. Or we can go and break some stuff down and hopefully we get some wood for it. But we're not going to get enough. Like, I know we're going to need more wood. So, yeah, there's no trees here at the moment. Oh, there's someone there. We can see them. This is why you don't use a light at night or a torch at night. Someone's running around with a torch. So there are people around this area, so we do need to be careful. We could get killed if we're not careful. There's a base over there, and I don't know if it's a big base or not. So yeah, we want to be really, really careful with what we're doing and where we're going. I think what we might do is head over to this side, to the blue marker. We'll do it over the cover of darkness. We're going to go around the fishing village, the ferry terminal. Bearing in mind that there is someone over there. And hopefully we don't die. If we do, we do. There's not really much we can do about it. We'll get our bow and arrow out in case we get into a fight. We might try and defend ourselves. There's also the lighthouse over there, so we can use that as kind of a guide. Especially if we're looking at the map. We want the lighthouse on our left-hand side. And we want to kind of walk this way. So around these like cliff edges here. Coming down towards that ferry terminal. Heading over to that back side. And then maybe down on the beach. We'll try and look to see if we can build something. But ultimately, we kind of want to stay away from any person at the moment. Now again, these are procedurally generated maps, so every time the server resets, the map will change. It will look and feel different. And so we need to always be able to adapt to any situation. Now it's raining, and that will help us a little bit to disguise some of the noise of the area. But we're just kind of walking through at the moment. There's a fire there. There's some lights over there. We're going to ignore all of that for now. It's too risky for us to go into that open area. We do have good health, but we don't have any armor at the moment. We do have some bones though, so actually we could start crafting. Oh no, we don't have enough cloth. We need cloth, that's right. But we have some tarp. So, depending if anyone's here or not. Now, you'll get to know these areas. You will get to know these areas as you start to play the game more. Now, obviously we're in the open light here. Very easy for us to die. But if we run around this corner, if no one's here, and we hope there's no one here, we could use this recycler. Now, for the recycler, we can put these items in and turn it on, and it's going to turn this item here, as we did before, into that cloth. We just got 100 cloth from that. So let's run away. We've got 100 cloth. And that is going to be enough for us to make some bone armor and a bone headdress. Now, anyone with an AK is just going to kill us straight away. But we've also got enough to make another sleeping bag, which is great. We're going to jump over this wall. Let's look at where we are. Oh. Alright, lots and lots of trees up here. This is a great area for us. So hopefully there's no one up here. Right, so what we're going to do is wait for our bag. As soon as our bag is crafted, we're going to put that down wherever we can. Sleeping bag's going to be 10 seconds. This looks like a great place to hide. 4 seconds and we'll put this sleeping bag down, and then it will start to get daylight. Right, I think we're a little bit too close to the monument. Come on. There we go, the bag's down. Oh my god. We're dead. We got the bag down. We're okay, we got the bag down. But unfortunately, that bag's on a timer. There's a 300-second timer there. So we're going to have to go to the first bag, respawn, and then we're going to have to run to that second bag, which is that blue marker, which, if we look at the compass, is that way. So it was pitch black. We couldn't see. There was like 3 boars there, which is great because there's loads of food there. But we died. So we need to go and get our gear back and then fight those boars and take control of that land. So that's kind of our goal right now. Now there's a little base here. Good to know. There's also a huge big base over there, which is good to know. It's daylight now, so we can see. As I said, in Rust, you're going to die a lot. Actually, the fact that this is a base, there's an actual base here. We could just take this base over. There's a base, a fully complete loaded base. We could just put a door on that and it's ours. Now, I'm not going to do that, but we could. We absolutely could. It's a viable option if you're playing this game and you want to start a base. Just slap a door on it and it's yours. It saves so much work. But I want you to understand getting started in this game, and I want to show you how to build a base from scratch. So the first thing we need to do is go back to our dead body, and hope that no one kills us, because what we really want to do, and we're lucky we got our sleeping bag down, but sad for the timer. Right, there's the ferry terminal. We'll grab some wood. We have nothing to really defend ourselves with if we get into a fight. We don't have that much health. So what we're really hoping at the moment is that we can just pick up our body. That's what we're hoping for. There's boars everywhere, it seems. What we're hoping there's not around here are players. Okay, we're going to come down here and try not to die in the process. Oh, crap. That's going to chase us. It stopped chasing us. Great, it de-aggroed. That's amazing. But we know there's going to be more up here. Right, just up here should be our body. There's a boar. Oh, hemp fibres, that's good. We'll take those. We'll take these mushrooms. We can eat those. Give us a little bit of health. Oh my god, there's so many boars. One's on our sleeping bag. One's coming over this way. We need to go over this way. We don't really have anything that we can craft at the moment to defend ourselves. What we're looking for is our body, and it looks like that boar is on our body. We might just have to fight this. I don't think we can. Let's get ourselves a spear. So we need 300 wood to make a spear. Because hitting him with a rock's just not going to kill him. We'll die first. And if we're going to die, that's fine. But we at least want to put up a fighting chance. So the spear's going to do more damage. The rock's pretty much just a very basic tool to get us started. Okay. It's going to be 20 seconds for that. Now what we can also do, if our body is here... Oh, he might have just moved. Nope, there's another one. There's one there as well. There's our body. Oh, cool. Alright. We don't need the spear because we've got this one. So we're going to take everything back on our body. Alright. So now... Oh. He's dead. He's going to chase us. We'll hit him again. Now he's going to run away. We'll kill him. That's 2 dead. We'll grab these arrows. And now we're going to have some food. Now the only problem at the moment is we don't really have much space left. So we'll get rid of one of them rocks because we don't need that. And actually we've got 2 spears. We don't need those. So we could throw one, I guess, but we've got a bow and arrow now, so that's fine. Right, great. The other one was here. We'll get those arrows back. In the early stage, it's really about being as efficient as we can. Great. Okay. Let's put our items where we need them. Get rid of that, we don't need that. And yeah, we're pretty good. Okay, cool. So this actually looks like a pretty good place to build. We have the ferry terminal there. We're out of the way. We've got our bag down. So we're going to make a building plan. I heard some footsteps. Yeah, this is a pretty solid place to build. We're well out of the way. We're close enough to the ferry terminal. I don't think there's anyone else around here. Oh, it looks like... Yeah, it's pretty solid to me. So we've got a building plan. It's not going to let us build because we're too close at the moment. We're too close. So, okay, this is the area where we can build. So we're actually going to build... Now, we don't necessarily want to build right on top of the hill because people will see us. Although, to be fair, we're kind of an island here, so we should be okay. But we're going to build down here a little bit. Yeah, this feels like a good place to build. So we're going to start building. Now, we want to make sure wherever we're building, we have the space to build. We need a flat enough land, or we need to put our foundation down high enough that it's not going to get caught with anything else. Now, we can put our foundation quite high. And if we do that, it means that we'll be able to build in every direction a bit later. See, here, we might have a bit of trouble in this area here. Yeah? So you need to bear that in mind if we're building. So, actually what I might do is, how much wood have we got? Not really that much, to be honest. So, yeah, this will be fine for a starter base. We're going to build a square and another square. So we use the building plan, we right click, and then we can choose from the pieces we want. We want a foundation and a triangle foundation. Okay, we need to build this quite quickly as well, because people are going to try and attack us. So first thing we're going to do is put a doorway down here, and then we're going to want to build some walls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to want to put a roof on. So a roof there, a floor, and this is our starter base. Alright, now the only problem with this at the moment, we need a hammer to upgrade. This is twig. Twig can be broken very, very quickly. It's got 10 hit points, which means a couple of arrows or one bullet and this whole thing can break. If you break the foundation, everything attached to it breaks. So if you break the walls, the floor crashes. If you break the walls, the floor, all of it crashes. So we need to upgrade this as quickly as we can. So we're going to upgrade this to stone. Now normally I would say make it wood. Wood would be the way that we want to start this. So we don't have much stone. So let's come out, we'll grab some wood. Now we kind of want to do this really and get all of the wood before we start building. Because the worst thing that can happen to us now is we die. Someone kills us, destroys our base, griefs it, we don't even get a good start. So we need to get as much wood as we can. So we're going to come across here, chop down a few trees. And we really want somewhere in a region of about 3,000 wood to start. And the reason we need that much wood, I'll tell you as soon as I get enough to show you. We need 1,000 to build a tool cupboard. And tool cupboards are really important in this game. They are what give you building privileges. So at the moment, anyone can build in this area. And it is only the tool cupboard that will stop people building. Now, part of this game is all around the mechanics on griefing and raiding. What that means is that people spend a lot of time and effort designing bases that make it hard to raid, and spend also a lot of time and effort in thinking about how to raid. That means that people will be thinking about how to raid you. It's a challenge. You need to build your base in a way that makes it hard to raid and confuses people. There's also trap bases. Some people build a base just to trap people and kill them. some people build decoy bases. There's lots of different ways that you can build in this game. But what we're doing right now is we are simply building for survival. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, we've got a bit of wood, and that means we can build this tool cupboard now. So we're going to go ahead and build that. I'm going to plant those in the ground, and then they will bear fruit a bit later. So there's my sleeping bag. I put the sleeping bag down. And there's the base that we started to build. So once the tool cupboard's down, we're going to need a little bit more wood. So I think I'm going to need a couple more trees. But we'll put the tool cupboard down because I'll show you this. Now normally we would do this all in one go. But I'm just going to show you it. So the tool cupboard will go down and we're going to place it as far into this corner as we possibly can. There we go. Now we have to authorize it. Now it's authorized, we can actually start to put stuff in it. Now, the problem with doing this right now is we're open to being attacked. Anybody can attack us and take over our base right now. And so that is not a good thing. So we want to be able to upgrade this. So, what we're going to do is upgrade this to wood. The wood's in here. Okay, so we can upgrade this to wood. That's going to cost 140 for that piece. It's going to cost 200 for that piece. We don't have enough to do any more. What that means is that we need another 2, 4, 6... about another 1,000 wood, plus we need a door. So about another 1,000 wood. So 1,000 for the tool cupboard. About 2,000 for the building and the upgrading. Now thankfully, this seems to be a relatively quiet area. If this was a white day, this would be very hard. Everybody will be scrambling to try and set a base up in the best possible location. Everyone will be killing each other, stealing their resources, and you're either going to go to the monuments to get the resources quickly, you're going to farm them very quickly, and some people in a guild or a clan will farm together, so one person will build while one person gathers. Not enough yet, we need another tree. We'll take this big tree here. Or some people, as I said, will just kill people and take their resources. All valuable options. All part of the game. Now this does make noise. People will hear us. When the tree falls, it makes a lot of noise. A lot further range. There we go. We have 1,200 wood now. You get a big lump at the end when you chop the tree down. Okay. So let's jump inside. Get the hammer out. And then we're going to upgrade that to wood, and to wood. Okay, that's a little bit better now. We need to make a door. So we're going to craft a door, wooden door, and a key lock. Must do that as well. And then if we've got enough wood left, there we go. We're going to upgrade that as well. So we've got our little wood cabin. We're just waiting for the door. We'll eat something. We've got some of these mushrooms. Now, at any point, someone can come in here and kill us. And so this is why you need to do this very quickly. And ideally have the resources at the start to do it as well. So you need to have the wood. So really you need the tools. But that's going to be your starting point. Now, I've got the door. You can put the door down if you come here. Okay, that's it. The door is now down. We're going to wait for the key lock. And while that's finishing crafting, there we go. We'll put the key lock on. And that door is now locked. We are safe for now. However, at any point, someone can come and kill us. And what you'll find in Rust is that people will gladly do so. So for us, what we want to do, I'm going to make a little campfire in here as well. Can cook that food up. I've put a little box down that we had. Now, I think we picked that up from someone else. We don't need any of that at the moment. We'll put some stuff into the tool cupboard that we don't need for now. And anything that doesn't go into the tool cupboard, we're going to put into the box. We'll keep our arrows. But everything else we kind of don't need right now. So we'll keep our arrows because we want those. We will keep a stone on us. All the rest of this stuff, we just don't need it right now. Oh, the bone, however, the bone can go in here. So we'll use this space because we've got it. You can see here, if I take out the wood and the stone, our base is not protected and it's decaying. Once it decays to 0, it would be destroyed. So we need to upkeep it. So if we log off and don't log in for a couple of days, our base will disappear, which is nice. Okay, so for now, we've kind of got everything that we need here. We're going to put this down here. That's going to have some wood in it. We'll take this, we'll put all of that in there, what we can, and we'll cook it. So now we're going to cook some meat. Now we'll take the spear with us. Alright, we've got armour. We've got basic tools. We've got a bow and arrow. And we've got a base. It's a wooden base, but we've got a base. This is kind of the starting point for you. This is where you want to get as quickly as possible. You want to find a location. You want to get a sleeping bag down. So the next thing that we want to do now is use the cloth that we've got to make another sleeping bag. And we want to put a sleeping bag down inside our base. So we have one outside, which is good because if we get trapped in our base, imagine someone's at a door camping us, trying to kill us, then we can actually spawn outside of our base and kill them. So it's good to have a sleeping bag outside, but we're also going to make one inside as well. We're going to eat some food. That's going to help to heal us. Also, it's going to deal with our hunger issues. Brilliant. And now we've got a new sleeping bag. Press R to rotate. And actually, we're going to come and stand over this side. I don't really want to stand on a fire, to be honest. It's going to hurt. Okay, so there we go. For now, that will do. So we're sleeping bags down. I can press E and call this base. Awesome. So now if I look at my sleeping bags, I can see where they are. This one outside. This one here. It's on a timer. I can remove that marker now. And the sleeping bag is our base. So I can put that label down. It's on top of our base. That's going to keep cooking, which is great. I'll put the rest of the meat on here. Alright. So, a successful day. We killed someone. We got killed. And now here we are. Alright, so we need to go out now. Because there's one more thing we need to do before we log off. Because at the moment, if we open our door and someone shoots us, we're dead. And sometimes people like to camp on doors like this with shotguns. And just shoot you as soon as you open a door. That's rust. Now, we don't want that to happen. So what we need to do is build an airlock. And that's going to be the next thing we're going to do before we end this video. We're going to get just a couple more bits of wood from these trees. We're going to build ourselves an airlock. And then our starter base is finished. We have 100% health, which is very important. You need to keep your health up. We have enough resources for our base. We'll grab that. And we'll grab this. And there's a bit more wood here. We'll grab this. I'll grab some mushrooms. A bit more wood. Brilliant. Really good start. There we go. Eat those mushrooms. And let's jump into our base. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're going to do. The most important thing now is we're going to take out our blueprint and our hammer. With our blueprint, we're going to use the wall frame. The wall frame. And we're going to put this wall frame here. Okay, we're then going to use the hammer. And we're going to upgrade this to wood. And we're going to craft a double door and another key lock. We also want a key lock for the tool cupboard, so we're going to craft another one. And we want a key lock for the box, so we're going to craft another one. Craft another box, and another key lock. Perfect. That is everything that we need to get started. The rest of the resources we put into our tool cupboard. We put our building privileges away. We don't need them anymore. And that's it. We have a starter base, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that we need. We'll put the cooked food. Now, cooked food doesn't spoil, so that's okay. We can just leave it in there. We'll put the new door on here. And it'll open inwards, like so. We'll put the key lock on here. This is now locked. Now, previously, you actually had to have a key to get in. You don't anymore. This just means that it's open to you. Later on, we'll upgrade these, but for now, this is a good start. We're going to put one on a tool cupboard, so if someone does get in, they have to break the tool cupboard. They can't just open it and take everything out. So that's important, so we'll put one on there. And then finally, we're going to put one on this box, which means they have to break the box. It's just a bit more inconvenience for them. Takes them a little bit longer. Okay. We need to make another box, which we're actually building now. So then we've got a bit more room for storage. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is the starter. We've done it. That's the end of this video. We've managed to do everything we needed to do. We're surviving. And we have enough now to live and survive through the night. Okay, so we'll put this second box down. We'll just put it down right in front of the first one here. Like so. And then the last key lock that we have here, we'll put that on there. Alright, everything is secured. We have an airlock. That means that we can come and go, like so. And we're going to be okay. Now, because of the way our base is, and where it is, we need to continue building. Now, at the moment, we don't need to. We're okay. We're in a good position. So we don't need to continue building. I'll just turn that off for now. But in the near future, we will need to. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to leave our base. We could, actually, one of the things we could do is put like a little temporary, just a temporary thing. It doesn't need to be there for long, but we can take this and this. We can shut this door. Always shut the airlock. But we can actually put some steps down here. So if we come out, put some steps down. Now we're going to leave those steps as twig because we're going to break those later. This is just a small convenience thing for now, just to help us get in and out. But we're going to destroy these, so we don't want to make them anything long term, because otherwise we'd have to break them. Now this foundation would normally be wood to start with, not stone. But the part of the next video is going to be upgrading this base, because at the moment anybody with fire arrows or Molotov cocktails or hatchets can simply come and pick and smash this door down. It's a wooden door. It'll take them a bit of time, but they can do it. And what we need to do is protect ourselves. So the next thing that we're going to want to do in the next video is we're going to want to upgrade this to stone. And then we're going to want to upgrade this to a sheet metal door. And that means we're going to need a furnace. So for now, we're done. That's the video complete. Hopefully this has helped you, show you how to start, how to pick a location. Now we're right out the way. There's not really much here. We're in a completely isolated area here, out of the way. There was probably a base here before, but I imagine it's decomposed and they've logged off and abandoned it. There's a big base over here we know about. We've got a main road over here. Now we've got this is shallow water, which means we can run across this. So we've got a road here. So we've got this whole road to the junkyard. A terminal here. A fishing village. We don't really need to go to that. Airfield's quite a way away. We're right out of the way. So between the junkyard, which we've seen a few people at, the ferry terminal, which we'll use. We've got the oil rigs here, which eventually we'll get out to for some PvP. Wow. That was either thunder and lightning or that was an attack. I'm not sure which. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there's our starter base. Wow. That took a lot. Looks like we have a good supply of food here as well, which is nice. Poor fella. The graphics on this are amazing. So we're not going to go hungry for food, so that's good. We're close to the ferry terminal for scrap. There's a recycler there that we can use. So we've got everything we need at the moment to be able to thrive. And we're going to be doing that again in the next video. So for now, we'll just dump everything we don't need. And we'll get some sleep. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.